Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tabletop Obscure presents Let's Build a Superdungeon. How is everyone? Yeah, no, look, OBS has been, being a little bit funny lately, shall we say? It'll just randomly crash once or twice, and then it'll just continue to work. It's really weird, I don't like it. But we don't also have much of the options, and OBS is usually pretty stable. I just might have to do a uninstall and reinstall. Occasionally broadcasting software. Hey, look, it's better than the Streamlabs. I'll say that with my whole chest. Especially as a streamer who started on Streamlabs. But once again, how is everyone this morning? I'm a little bit tired, but I'm still getting through my breakfast smoothie. But, also, thank you for everyone's support for Let's Build a Superdungeon. I wasn't, I know I think I might say this every week, but I wasn't expecting it to get as much attention as it has. And for people to actually support it as much as it has been. I kind of thought about as a way to kind of do work and also stream, but with people's suggestions and everything else like that, it's just been going really well. I don't really have much in the way of announcements, except we have Hoist the Colors tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and we also have Abomination Vaults on Sunday, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Also, might be adding some extra streams for not video game streamings, but actual tabletop role-playing game streams. I currently have a Salvage Union game in the works, which is going to be fun, called No Gods, No Masters. And what was the other one? I might be running a couple of one-shots in the future. Just some fun little ones of adventures I've written and stuff, see how things go. But before we actually jump into building the dungeon a little bit more, I did want to actually show something. So I believe it was Ninzad and I were trying to figure out, or we were talking about how to do a rotating hedge maze. Like a maze where you can have like the pots and everything else like that. I figured it out, and I will show people, but I also wanted to show what I managed to figure out how to do with Token Attacher. So, you might recognize this as our first room, like our first floor, and the entry in that. So, I've worked out how to attach the entire room. So we have our walls for this one, just as a little bit of a demonstration. And the walls are still attached. And you'll notice that the light actually moved with it as well. That's the plan, Ninzad. I eventually want to have all the tiles set up and connected. So I can literally, my plan is literally on the fly, build the dungeon. So I'll be able to get the players in, they'll be like, oh, what's the layout for the dungeon tonight? And I'll be like, I don't know. And it'll be accurate, and it'll be true. And that'll be the important part. Which also means I'll have the option to build a couple of extra rooms for any dungeon floor if I want, and set them up and have them ready to go in and drop out. But also, by way of demonstration, I can also drag and drop them from the side. So I literally have the room set up and I can just drag and drop them onto the field. And theoretically, I need to talk to a friend of mine, but I'm hoping to set this up as its own little compendium thing. Does this mean they can spin too? Does that answer your question? Now, back to where was it? I showed this on my Discord, but just by way of demonstration. Actually have it working for the hedge maze as well. Oh man, I'm loving this OBS just randomly crashing on me. So, as I was saying about the hedge maze, it is alive again, and I have it working. So I'm not sure how I could actually do this. Like I said, I gotta talk to a friend of mine and see if I could set up like a full compendium or something to that extent. But what I kind of want to do is I've made these tiles for the hedge maze. I kind of want to go into GIMP and actually remove these blank corner grass spaces and have them literally as just the hedges. And then kind of just make them available to people if they want them. If I can do that and figure out how to do that properly, I might end up get some alpha layers in there. Exactly. And if I can manage to do that, and I could do that with like stone walls and things like that, I can help people make their own like shifting mazes and things. And I had this idea using token attacher to make this big maze with like 3 rotating pods. And you could just rotate each one individually. It'd be big and it'd be massive, and I'm nothing if but ambitious, I guess would be the best way to put it. Also, chat, I have someone mowing outside my window. If you hear that, I do apologize. Just the way it is sometimes. Otherwise, hello, Dungeon Draft. Where are we actually up to? We're up to room 4, right? Yes. Low. Okay. So, the question. You can create that moment for the players where they open a door to the room they think they were just in and it's suddenly different. It's gonna be worth a little sweat. Yeah. Like, especially if I can pull that off on stream. Like, one of the... Because we talk about mazes a lot in the aspect of a static form. But with what I can do with token attacher, theoretically, is if I can attach the stairways module to token attacher as well, I can create this effect of not only a maze with shifting walls, but where the doors shift as well. Where you'll go out one door and literally come out on the other side of the hallway. Theoretically. However, I've done this. What have I done? I've done 3 low, 1 moderate. So we do need to catch up a little bit and do another moderate one. So what we might do this morning, we're going to swap these around. And because I am getting so quick at this, also, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to toot my horn for a second. Because of all the practice I've been putting in making maps with this series, for those who are watching Abomination Vaults, the last session, I put together that chase map in under 5 minutes. Green simple. Add a maze. So let's do something a little bit more interesting. Yeah, I've been told that I need to celebrate my victories more often, so... This is me making an attempt. Also, that effect of just having the trees as the encircling wall is a surprisingly good effect. I didn't expect it to go as well as it has. Now, Alt. No, I need the object tool. Go. There. Now, I'll be real, I don't 100% know what I want to do here yet. Because we need another moderate one before I actually jump into our mid-boss encounter. So... Okay, I think I might have something. Not a full hedge maze, because we don't really want to overuse that. You... Well... So then, because the idea here is that the hedges will be able to act as a chest-high wall. So players and whatever they're up against can use it for cover. Let's go back to the trees. Yeah, I'm liking that. Okay, let's get us some leaves in here. Just as a little bit of glitter. Grab you, send to the back. Got the bushes again. That's all right. I'm not sure about you. No. Let's remove that tree. I'm not happy about that little tree. No, we have something. There we go. So I do kind of want to have a central feature for this room. Yeah, let's do that. Statue. Have any of the rooms forced difficult terrain on the players yet? Not specifically yet. There we go. Branch. we turn down the scale a little bit? There we go. No, that looks a little bit off, doesn't it? Alright. Here's a center room feature. The idea here is it's supposed to represent a person who has been turned into a tree. This is going to be a hint or a suggestion at a future encounter. Perhaps a mid-level boss, but a creature that can turn people to wood. Or more specifically, turn people into trees. Yeah, because the forest weren't spooky enough. Otherwise, I kind of think that's done. We are going... Just bear with me as I say this. Yeah, this definitely has to be a modern encounter. Export. Just making sure that's been saving. Yep. Universal BTT. And back to Foundry. Repetition much? It's fine. Living forest, lone tree, that import. Because the walls are kind of important for this one. Do have to go into the settings for these walls though, because I want them to block movement but not sight. Not that I actually use ambient sounds, I really should. All right. That's the walls all set up. Okay, buddy. It is that time, isn't it? Now, creatures. I would like to say you've been patient with it, but you really haven't. Alright, so modern encounter level 3. Night tree. What was a modern one? Veggie gun. Alright. Two level 3 creatures. What do I have? Dryads. Dryads do have some fun spells. Grab, quick capture. Okay, I think I got something. Yeah, no, that's good. So the idea here is, like a lot of the other ones that we've had already, when our players kind of come into here, that's exactly what I'm thinking. The Dryad can cast it at will. Full squares in a 20-foot burst. So in this instance, how about we just cast that? So we can throw that down. That's literally that entire section there. Also, I really do love this animation. Just casually. And of course, our plants are going to be immune to it. Root tentacles, yay! It's actually really bad. I've been playing a lot of Guild Wars 2 recently. Going through the Heart of Thorns expansion for it. And in that you're fighting a jungle dragon. And yeah, a lot of it is fighting like jungle plant tendrils. Obligatory commercials? Yeah, sorry about that. Twitch wants them ads. That shoots back down. Awesome. But yeah, this is just a straightforward encounter. Players will come in as they start to... Because I specifically had it so that they can see through the hedges. so they can see what they're targeting, and they can attack her from range. Now, because she'll drop the entangle there, that's not going to be a worry for her. But it's either going to force players to stay at range or to try to get through the entangled area here. If they do try getting a little bit too close, however, our boy will strike. Good morning, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. And welcome to Let's Build a Superdungeon. Because these snapping fly traps are nasty. They're one of the earliest things to have an improved grab, and they have swallow whole. OBS hasn't crashed for almost 30 minutes yet. It's beautiful. Texas? Nice. Actually know a few people in the TTRPG community that are in Texas. With some po bunnies and one in the bushes. Do I actually have? I mean, we're kind of joking, but this encounter is pretty much done at that point. When I go to actually write the encounter notes for it, I will put in the whole thing of her first action is to cast Entangle. If the combat lasts more than 10 rounds, then that's a problem in and of itself. I just have to decide if to do area effects and hit them. Ooh. See, there's a... Where was it? Let's see if I can find it. Because it was Battle Zoo Beastry creature. Hook melons. These things. And yeah, they kind of just attach themselves to creatures and then steer them around. This is from Battle Zoo Beastry, from Roll for Combat. Actually, I have to install the new Battle Zoo Beastry module, which has all the creatures from their latest Beastry, Strange and Unusual. But I do actually have it in my list already. 4. What is 4 handle this? Well, there's an idea. Alright, let me check something. Rabbit, bunny. No, I didn't think so. Pause the scavenge for crafting. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's the rabbit with the horn. Tory rabbit -1. Well, that's one thing. No, it's... God, I can't think of it now. Al Mirage. Wait, we don't actually have odd for it? Yeah. Okay. But we do have a predatory rabbit. Skittish and live predatory rabbits are fast and nimble predators and unassuming wolves. They most enjoy hunting birds, squirrels, cats, and other rabbits. The predatory rabbit art is cute though. Oh, that is cute. I might end up just making a token of that. Okay, so what are options for a fourth? We got Aisling, but I want to have her as the I want to have her as that kind of final boss-ish kind of thing. We've used an arboreal warden before. This might be interesting, actually. Yeah, no, I think I got an idea. Alright. Well, this one's done anyway. So let's go on back to Dungeon Draft. We want 16 by 11. Terrain. Think that's just because I like the symmetry. We're gonna have that. Turn off the snap. Damn it, did it again. It ain't as easy as you make it look. Which part are you talking about? I know I kind of rushed through a lot of this process, but I'd like to think that for the whole thing that we've been doing with this series in general, I'm showing it's not as difficult as it may seem. But if you have any questions about the process or what I'm doing or how I'm doing it, just ask me. One of the big things I want to do with this whole thing is to help other GMs. Pay 100 Ross Games here for a camping dungeon. Look, Gianni, I am tempted. Don't get me wrong. I just wanted to be at a level where I can start throwing a Sphinx at players. Level 3 is not that day. You have good flow with the map and ideas, the asymmetry appeals to me. See you then, Gianni. You have a good flow with the map and ideas, the asymmetry appeals to me. Look, I will say part of it is experience. I have been doing this for... I have been GMing and homebrewing a lot of my own stuff for over a decade at this point. The Angoang. See, I've never seen that one. I'm learning so much. I actually want to start doing... I mentioned this last week, but I've started writing up one-shots again, themed around specific creatures. Yeah. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, no, I love that. So, this is something that the people at Paizo talk about from time to time. That some of them are terminally online and into the memes and everything else like that. I'm gonna just copy-paste that. But that's the image for that from Archives of Nephis. I need a tree. What's that? Matt needs a tree in a forest dungeon? I'm shocked. The benefit of technology is as my eyes get worse, I can enhance to see. On paper, standograph is so tiny to my eyes. Yeah. So, back in the old days, I used to do a lot of my GMing using graph paper and stuff like that as well. Nowadays, I can't do it. It's just not a thing that I can do anymore. Just because the graph paper is a little bit too small and I have trouble with it, essentially. really want them to be... But this tool, this map making tool that I'm using at the moment, Dungeon Draft, it's from Humble Bundle, $20 US. Actually, while I'm here, I might as well just grab the link for it, jeez. Used to create on school bus, pumps, schools, rivers, diverge, and canyons beneath the caves I never planned for. Yeah. I'm actually... Oh, that's what I did wrong. I kept Pathfinder 2 in front of it. That's gonna make things difficult. I do actually need to set this up as a proper thing, but... Boop. But yeah, that's Dungeon Draft. Particularly you'll find with Pathfinder 2. Pathfinder 2e really comes into its own when you have the opportunity to have big maps for big encounters. And it's the unfortunate state of affairs that... Speaking as someone who has worked a little bit, you have limits within your books, particularly when it comes to map size, because you have to keep it at a spot where players at a physical table can easily just draw it in. Have you used the Dungeon Alchemist? I have in fact used the Dungeon Alchemist. This might sound weird, but I'm not a big fan of the art style. I do want to use it. Stream back. It's OBS crashing. Give it a couple of seconds. We should be back. I have a Google thing open now, so I can hunt down what the problem is and fix it, because that's getting very frustrating for me. I'm sure it's getting frustrating for you as well, but thank you for bearing with me as we deal with the software issues. But yes, I have used Dungeon Alchemist. I've had a bit of a check and experiment with it. I found for building actual, ironically, like caverns and dungeons is not as good. It's really good for doing above ground buildings and things like that, especially if you want to do cabins or castles or like temple complexes and other big constructions above ground. I'm gonna have so much fun splicing this later. You have no idea. That said, I probably will pull down the... If it comes up to host the vault spot, yeah. Your internet still goes through the trunk line beneath the Pacific or via satellite? Not 100% sure, but it's not a problem with the internet at the moment. My internet's stable. It's literally the OBS program that keeps crashing. Which, you know, is its own set of annoyance. But from a quick thing that Google is showing me, yeah, I need to have a look at it. Appreciate the streams is developing. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, like I said, I'm surprised that it's people have well received it as much as they have. What do I need here, though? I think as I get to a point where I'm starting to make more homebrew adventures and have become less reliant on other people's maps and things, I think these development streams will be a little bit more commonplace. There isn't a lot of craftsmanship content out there. Yeah, I think that is one of the problems, especially with Pathfinder 2. Just... like, I appreciate a lot of the content that we are getting from Pathfinder 2 at the moment. Especially the things that we're getting from, like... Node at ones, obviously. A couple of other things, but even the rules lawyer. But there's a lot of mystification for those of us who aren't rolling out the $100 modules. Yeah, look, I'm not even sure if I'm gonna fork out $100 for the Kingmaker module, because there's parts of it I want, but I don't want the entire thing. Severe. Cartographer was always on my dream list, but budget went to third-party gaming books. Cartographer, Dungeon Cartographer? If it is Dungeon Cartographer, I did try playing around with it once upon a time. I just bounced off it so hard. I picked up at a Humble Bundle, I think last year, maybe the year before, and had a fiddle with it, and yeah, just did not work well for me, unfortunately. First was Land and Dungeon. Yeah. I have, like I said, I've looked at both. I picked them up in a Humble Bundle, and just, I couldn't. Alright. First things first. We don't specifically need the walls on this one, but it is good habit and practice to get into. Now, creatures. Now with this one, now, according to my handy dandy little calculator, actually no, screw it. Bear with me a second. I'm not happy with a blank token, and I haven't been for a very long time. Go border tents. Token's mine. We're just gonna put you in there. There we go, much better. One, two, three, four, five, six. Now, as for how this encounter will work, also, I'm gonna need a name for this guy, so if someone in chat wants to help me out with that one. Back when Han was mail order, I loved it. US geographical maps were similar. Military brat in 70s, so I had a couple of US GS geographical maps. Yeah, military brat as well. But I never could really wrap my head around maps. It is definitely something that has been a learned skill. I failed high school geography, for instance. Creative brains being what they are. Or at least my brain being what it is. Now, as for how this encounter will work, this is a severe level encounter, but you're going to be looking at this map and being like, okay, how is this tricky in any way, shape, or form? Because our little rabbits here are -1. They have 6 hit points. The main issue that is going to be for them is 1, the stench aura, which causes players to be sickened, which is a negative. But more to the point, I would probably put in the mechanics, the notes for this particular encounter, that the rabbits aren't going to be aggressive. Because they really just don't have to be. But as soon as they wake him up, all of these ones will wake up as well. And the idea here is to literally just be in the way. Because our Boreal Warden here has a 10-foot reach on his long sword. So all the rabbits really have to be is literally just mobbing out people. This will give our Warden flanking, which will be a +2 bonus for him to hit. And we'll give him a lot of funky other options as well. Frederick Snuggles von Hammerheimer Schmidt. I do have a channel redeem for naming NPCs, but I'm gonna keep that one anyway. Actually, no, what we'll do is we'll kill you. Duplicate the Warden of Wabbits. I swear some of the names we're coming up for these creatures are just absolutely cursed. What was it? Warden of Wabbits. Alright, that's not too bad. Yes, YouTube, I'm still watching. It's fine. Curse forest, but the curse is dumb naming schemes. I like Aisling. Oh, dear little rabbits, they're not gonna do... All they're gonna be doing is just getting in the way. That's all. But what we might do is specifically for Frederick here. We're gonna give him a new passive ability. Called Warden of Wabbits. And those of us who are here for Sandy Claws, you'll be familiar with this. One of his beloved wabbits is destroyed. Details, that'll be a reaction. Now, he has a lot of reactions now. Could make an anagram of Bugs Bunny. Yeah. Now, theoretically, I would have Aisling, a little leshy witch, show up in an earlier room and basically be like, you know, talk about the Warden of Wabbits and how he doesn't like people to hurt his rabbits, so don't do that. Oh, I can't even begin to pronounce that one. Gubbin? For the Celtic theme. Speaking of, actually, I need to fix that. Just prototype. Always for everyone. At some point in the future, I do need to run someone through these. Just get a group together and get it done. But now that I've figured out the whole token attacher thing, I can do it a little bit better now. But yeah, that's a severe encounter. Yep, easy done. Let me get a little drink of water. And back to Dungeon Raft. Now, what do I have at the moment? I need to do another moderate one. Alright. So, we were talking about difficult terrain, weren't we? Start off here. Don't want to do too much with water, because the last two dungeon floors were pretty much water. Is there a YouTube on your channel about the preferred modules? It's something I'm considering. I've tried recording and doing up some long-form YouTube videos, and I just can't wrap my head around the editing for it. My brain just kind of shuts down. I am working on some shorts and things like that. But look, if people want if that's something that people would want, for me to do like shorts and things like that, where I go through some of my favorite modules and how I use them, I'm more than happy to do that. What am I after? Trees. So I like you. Squeeze you in just a little bit more though. Do a live stream yakking about the list of modules and no editing required. I'm considered, that's also something I've actually considered. Next week I'm probably not going to be doing an evening stream on Thursday for World of Warcraft, because I might be going to a friend's house for some board games. That is well overdue. So what I might end up doing is a Thursday morning stream. And if that's something people would want, just me talking about the modules I use and everything else like that, I'm happy to do that. Twisting ankle and a borrow is painful. So, fun story. I used to work for the RSPCA, which is a animal care and refuge place here in Australia. And as a part of that, we would have the rangers and the inspectors for the area coming on by. And at one point, we had one of our rangers returning from out west, like in the bush area. And he was having a laugh with everyone else, because we had a tourist out in the little bush area, and they had stuck their hand into a wombat burrow. And I'm not sure if people know this, but for wombats, when they're creating their burrows, in order to keep them stable, they'll slam their foreheads into the top of the burrow to kind of keep the roof as flat as possible. So when someone sticks their hand into a wombat's burrow, the wombat thinks that its tunnel is collapsing and will start to thump its head against whatever is moving. In this case, someone's arm. So thankfully, the ranger was there in time to pretty much be like, hey, stop moving your arm. We'll get it out quietly, smoothly, safely. Just, you can't do any sudden movements. So for everyone's talk about how koalas are dangerous and spiders are dangerous, honestly, some of our cutest and cuddliest things, so much more dangerous. Animal rescuers here in Texas, ASPA, PCA, snipped all of our pets and were a source for a couple. Yeah. You have to be a rare breed of brave to just stick your hand in a hole in Australia, right? I think 3 of our deadliest species of spider also make burrows and things. Like the funnel web spider makes its own burrows. Redbacks just hide and stuff like that. I know huntsman spiders also do a similar trick. They don't make burrows, but they'll just find their way into crevices and holes. There's a reason that episode of Peppa Pig got banned in Australia. Turn on the shadows. What will the response be if a player tries to swim down the river? So I got a couple of thoughts about that. Humans just rent locations down under, like scorpions in Arizona. They enter. Yeah, well, you grow up with a hell of a respect for the animals here in Australia. Like, you go into some of the older places and you kind of realize just how fragile we humans can absolutely be. As for the response for players floating downstream, this is room 7. I have a couple of other rooms. So, first things first, let's save. I have 4 rooms left for this dungeon. Rooms 8 and 9 are going to be what happens if they go to either side of the river. What should I call this one? Crossroads River. Low. This one needs to be moderate, doesn't it? Yeah. Could be the last low one, though. Yeah, low. Saved. Export. Punja. That's... and that. This one's gonna be low. The main... I'm probably not gonna have too much in the way because the main hazard here is going to be the river. So, let's bounce back to Foundry. Hello, Foundry. Okay. There's a part of me that actually wants to light that up, probably. But we will leave it. So I don't want to get too pedantic. Walls. Did that wrong, so we're gonna do it again. This. All right. Now for this one. I did say low for this, didn't I? I did. Zeros. No 3s. We'll go 1s. Alright, so our river here is going to be an environmental hazard. We'd set the DC as a level 1 hazard. DC 15. That feels good for a flowing river. If players go into the river, then they have to make a athletics check or a swim check against a DC of 15. It is a fast flowing river. Otherwise, I need 2. Or try the long jump action. Yep. Yep. Gafflin Wander. I mean, we might just end up using gold leshies. Give me a second. plant. Specifically, I want the botanical bestiary. Oh man. Players are gonna help. They're gonna hate me though. Just... The body of the cattail Leshy explodes, causing the Leshy to take 5 points of damage. Seeds immediately spread outwards in a 30-foot emanation, causing all creatures within the area to become hidden. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do it. We're gonna have a pair of like cattail leshies that are just kind of hanging out by the side of the river. So have these guys combined with the river encounter. That's a low encounter. An environmental hazard. This is also a small one. I was trying to think of a plant animal to be in the creek. The kitten is from Mortal Kombat. No, the cattail leshy is from the botanical bestiary. Give me a second. I'm just dropping links for everything this afternoon, aren't I? Botanical bestiary. There we go. I actually had, when I was at PAX U last year, I had the pleasure of meeting the writer for Botanical Bestiary. Great guy. He's really passionate about the third-party stuff for Pathfinder 2, and there's a lot of us who just wants to see more of the third-party stuff that appearing at conventions in like physical formats and stuff like that. I should message him and ask him if he managed to get a table or not. But that's our encounter. This is the encounter for reminding players that non-lethal is an option. Non-lethal is always an option. And look, let's be honest. If there's a druid in the party, they're just gonna steamroll a lot of these encounters. If for nothing else, but just talking their way through it. That's done though for that one. Doop. So, back to Dungeon Draft. Swap these, because I want it to be... I should point out as well, as I do from time to time, all of these can fit onto an A4 sheet of paper, yeah? Like, theoretically, I need to experiment with this, but theoretically, you can grab the PNGs for these, slap them down, and just literally just put them onto a, like, take them to Officeworks or something, or I'm not sure what the, like, printer equivalent of this in America, but take it to an office supply store and just print it out there. Drive-thru reminds me of sharing our adventures, monster manuals and stuff in the 80s. From 0 seconds to trade for a copy, yeah. Here in Australia, we have a lot of difficulty getting a hold of books and things like that. Like, it's ridiculously difficult sometimes. So there was a gaming club I used to go to before I moved away from the area, and there was a guy there who literally his whole thing was, hey, if you give me the PDF that you have paid for, I will, next time I'm at Alphas Works getting printing done, I'll print out your book and you just have to pay for the printing of it. Island Shovels, yeah. Unfortunately, and this is something I have talked about before, publishers don't seem to be really bent towards resolving the matter either. Which is something I find immensely annoying. Because print you a copy and hold on to a backup in case yours burns, yeah. As an example of this, Rage of Elements has been out for, what has it been now? 2 months now? 2-3 months? I just got the message from Imaginary Adventures, who I use for most of my Pathfinder 2 books. He can get it in the fastest. That we're expecting our first shipment of Rage of Elements books in October. Hopefully in time for Halloween. Too much. It's a gourd, okay? Then we go over to our object tool. Because we want our bush. That's the plan. We want to print locally where we're able. It was one of the things that when I signed onto the project, there was a couple of things I asked for. And one of the big things was I wanted a proper option that would get local printing when possible. Or just some sort of thing that meant that we could get the books in time. Or people wouldn't have to be waiting 3 to 6 months as opposed to the rest of the world to get their stuff. Unfortunately, however, other issues have happened since then. But we are getting through it, slowly but surely. Let's pull out the reeds. Longer things have shipped, the more shrinkage occurs, yeah. TTRPG products have an extended lifespan, but in general it's pretty important to have your product available while people are actually talking about it, yeah. Hence one of the prioritizations towards digital products. And I'll be the first to say that I'm also kind of looking into going back into doing some self-publishing stuff as well. So it is something I'm looking into pretty extensively at the moment. But then the remaster in general has kind of thrown some spokes into the works for a lot of folks at the moment. You. Alright. We're gonna grab some leaf. Because we like some leaf. Not sure if there's much else I can do here. I think that's about done. Oh! Knew I was forgetting something. Silly me. Oh, burnt. What I'm actually thinking. That. Now grab a couple of mushroom. Do I have a moss? No, I have a moose. A couple of happy little mushrooms growing on top there. That's all good. Save. This would be room 8. Moderate. I can do this. There we go. Export. Universal. Foundry. Hello, Foundry. Now, as for this encounter, because the water gets a little bit deeper here, I did want to look at what we have. Moderate. We can have 2 3s. Oh, what are you? What are you? I think the overall theme we have for this dungeon at the moment is just leshies in general. Leaping kick. The reed leshie leaps up to 25 feet towards the target and makes a kick strike with improved push. Oh, wow. Oh, I love that. Blow dart toxin. Targets damaged by the blow dart strike must attempt a DC 20 saving throw. Sickened, and paralyzed. Oh no. I have a decision to make. Okay, so here's my issue. Because how adorable is that? Like he's just a little guy on a log. She's in the water. Oh no. I mean, this absolutely works. But yeah, just having like a little frog leshie sitting on the log taking pot shots at people. Ain't bothering nothing, nobody. Yeah, no, absolutely. Because otherwise they would just go, well, our friend has fallen into the water. Well, for decency. Yeah. The easiest one, of course, is something glittering at the bottom of the water. If they were a higher level, I would take a leaf from the old folktale of Fear Not and have sirens in the pond, trying to draw them in with glittering jewels upon the bottom of the bog. But level 3, they're not quite up to that point yet. Well, this will is something very magical or to escape to learn. Yeah. So yeah, for the encounter for this, I would have some sort of treasure at the bottom of the water there. Frederick Snuggles. Need to fix that. That's fine though. But yeah, this will be... players will kind of get drawn into here by the river. If they can't really fight against the current, then they'll end up in the water here, where they can kind of just kick against it, but they'll be pretty much immediately attacked by the 2 cattail leshies and a little guy here. But there will be some sort of treasure at the bottom there. Players have to get it out and are swallowed months past. Treasure sacks, am I right? Alright. last one for today, I think. I wish you would remember that I prefer grass to gravel. And then I need... of that. Let's see how we go. I know it looks dodgy right now. We will fix it. Let's finish doing our framing first, and then I'll fix up that river, because it's not quite as wide as it needs to be. Now, if you've been watching the stream for a while, you'll know the trick I'm about to use. We need to turn that smoothness down all the way. Then we need to go, what do I need? I need stairs and I need pillars. Use a layer 2, so that's something that I did here. We need to send you to the back, so the trees are above you. And so I can do what I'm about to do. I will be grabbing the trees after this and kind of... let's take this snap off. So one of the things I learned very early on, particularly when playing Minecraft, is you can get a lot of work out of small things if you apply a little bit more depth. That's not what I wanted to do. You're gonna make this difficult, aren't you? I want this thing absolutely covered in vines. We're gonna put you somewhere else, though. There you go. Some objects. Grab some pillar. Slime. Give me a bench. Looks like a bearded man with skinny legs. I'll take that. That's... Control C, Control V. Let's take you off snap for a second, just so it can line you up properly. Back to our objects. I've used that one before. We want something a little bit more organic looking. Yep. Let's drop that scale down to something closer to that. Bit more. Because one of the things we should always remember about human architecture is how often we will go to extraordinary lengths to simulate nature. And what do I need next? I need bushes! One second, bud. Give me a minute. I'll let you out. This looks like a room with some history. Yeah. No, that is absolutely the plan. Leaf. Nature man is a love-hate relationship, yeah. We love what we see in nature. We just don't want to be taken by it. And there are some very old and very fundamental primal fears evolved around it. That's why I like the renaissance we're currently having for, like, dark forest horror. Nature is ruthless and unforgiving. I don't really want to push it too far. I think that's kind of good. I need to, before I forget... It was bothering me more than anything else because the vines have to be underneath it all. Or at least underneath the trees anyway. I think that's it for the map though. Ever seen Kutsu? Yeah. Yeah, no, well aware of Kutsu. I've unfortunately had to deal with it a little bit too much. Universal, export, that. Hello, Foundry. Yeah. Force of nature is definitely one way to put it. Activate. Alright. Modern encounter, let's go. 4 1s. Snapping fly traps 3. I know what I want. What I want is an assassin bug. That feels obvious. And then 2 1s. Classic? Yeah, look, I know some people would look at the monster list for this and be like, this seems very cliche. Couldn't you do better? And one of the things we should always remember is the cliches exist for a reason. Insect swarm? Ooh. You should like where your head's up. Hero filters. Crates, we want swarm. What do we have? Rats, squirrels. Amoeba, no. Bee swarm would be pretty good. I'm sorry, phalanx of phalanges? I'm sorry, what? That's... Phalanx of phalanges. Zombie feast. Okay, yeah, no, absolutely. Made up of hundreds of finger and toe bones, a phalanx of phalanges clatters along the ground in an eerily uniform manner. Commonly mistaken for undead, animated bones are mindless constructs with no connection to necromancy. The following are examples of typical animated bones. Okay. Vampire bat swarm. Yeah, I'm down. Fun to say, yet terrible at dances. Well, pretty uniform. What is their movement speed like? Live 30. 30's pretty good. Definitely engulfing anyone who goes into that shrine, though, which is beautiful. It's what we want. As for the design of this one, typically speaking, this would be a case of Curse Shrine, release the curse, gain a benefit. The curse in this instance is linked directly to our Assassin Vine. If they deal with the Assassin Vine and the commotion from the Assassin Vine causes the vampire bats to swarm out from the trees attacking. But if the players are able to defeat the Assassin Vine and free it from its curse, then they would gain a boon or a blessing or something to that effect. Nice and simple, nice and easy, easy done. That, as for what kind of boon, there's a part of me that would want to say ignore difficult terrain for an hour. Like, underbrush difficult terrain for an hour. But that would be something I would think about a little bit more extensively later. Otherwise, I think that's done. I think the stream's pretty much over with as well. I'm going to see who we can raid. Grim's doing things. Vampire bats of South America lick to numb before biting. Yeah, I actually did some... I was in a server and they were talking about vampires. So I did a little bit of looking into how vampire bats actually feed. And they don't do like the delicate little puncture marks. A fake forest should really have a swarm of squirrels somewhere. Well, ironically enough, that is one of the considerations for this encounter. I might actually swap out one of the bat swarms for the squirrel swarm, because it's the same. It is, in fact, the same difficulty. No, we'll just put that there. Maybe cheat that one, just to mix it up a little. As for who we're gonna raid, still only on book 1. All right, we're gonna raid a fellow Australian. We're going to raid Dead Aussie Gamer. Did that work? That did work. Awesome. We're going to give him a raid. He's currently running Extinction Curse Book 1. I know I have personally run Extinction Curse up to about Book 4. I hope he's having a lot more fun with it than my players did, because my players really ground up against it. It was, oh boy. But tell him I said hi, because I'm probably going to duck off and have lunch as it is midday here. Otherwise, I hope everyone has enjoyed this session of Let's Build a Superdungeon for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I'm probably going to go out at some point today and actually print out some of these and show pictures of just how easily you can adapt this to your own, to actual in real life play. Otherwise, we hope to see you tomorrow for Hoist the Colors at 5:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And on Sunday, we'll have Abomination Vaults at 7 p.m. Otherwise, be sure to check out the socials. And I also have a Discord, if you're not there yet. That link should be working. Otherwise, I hope you have a good day, a good night, a good week, no matter where you are in the world. And remember, as always, we're the storytellers. Good night, everyone.